In other news this hour, a sex offender considered high risk by Canadian authorities still at large in the United States. Michael Stanley was able to slip over the border into the U.S., even though he was the focus of a multi-province police search. American authorities say they won't arrest him. Zuleka Nathu's on the story and joins us now. So, big question making the rounds today, Zuleka. Why aren't U.S. officials doing anything here?
Isn't that the truth, Nancy? Well, the U.S. Marshal Service says they have no reason to track Stanley down or to detain him. Take a look at what they said. We have no reason to monitor him because he's not suspected of any crimes in the United States. And then they said, we don't monitor our citizens like that in the U.S. But the confusion does continue, and that's because Edmonton police, who've really taken the lead on this case, say they know Stanley's whereabouts, even though they can't do much about it. But when the American side heard about that, they said they had no idea where that report or information was coming from. Canadian authorities want Stanley after he removed his ankle monitoring bracelet on October 1st, presumably with some sort of construction tool. And now he's facing 5 charges, including mischief and driving without a license or insurance. But he's also a high-risk sex offender. He has a history of taking children from playgrounds. He has convictions of assault and confinement of 2 boys with special needs. In fact, he has convictions dating back, Nancy, to 1987.
Well, yeah, given that record, it's easy to understand why law enforcement went into high alert mode this week when they believed he ditched that bracelet. And certainly there was a very intense manhunt on this side of the border. But how did he manage to get across the border into the U.S.?
Well, that's the question that the American side and Canadian authorities are now trying to figure out, because here's what we do know and what's been confirmed. He did manage to make his way from Lloydminster, eventually into BC, to the Blaine border crossing, which allowed him to cross into Washington state. Now, it might have helped that he's an American citizen, but there are also accusations now that perhaps Canadian authorities didn't file the correct paperwork because it was only a Canada-wide warrant. So now, Alberta Justice says that they're trying to get some sort of interim warrant that would allow police in the States to hold him and then work on trying to get some sort of extradition request expedited. But right now, we just checked with Alberta Justice, no updates so far.
Okay, we'll stay on it. Thanks, Zuleka.
You're welcome.